Good afternoon, everyone. I have a phrase, what I am when I come to these events. I'm your change of palate. You hear so much information. Anyway, I've been brought to these forums by good people, the Common Bond out of Tampa, and we have a rapport that started in the worst place, but the best of circumstances. These people, led by Tom Quinley, they reached out for me while I was languishing in the cell. And they became friends, they became advocates, and then after all those years, what to do. When I get out, they arranged for me to be speaking all over the country. And it's good because, I had life, no parole. And, you die in jail. You come home in a body bag. And I actually had to have that sentence vacated. But there's three main factors. So we'll get into that later. But anyway, I'm a storyteller. So the story today is take me as I am. Take me as I am in the cannabis world. I was a young guy. I was troubled like everyone else, and my only joy, my only relief was, smoking weed. So, and then time went by, and I started selling it. Not a lot. I was put away for basically 2,600 pounds of weed, and I wasn't even around when it was the deal was made, but I got charged with it. I didn't even have a parking ticket in my life, and I went away a very long time. Would you take that jacket? Would you pull that jacket? Anyway, they put the cuffs on me in 1983. And they thought I knew the secrets of many things. I didn't know the secrets of many things, and I just want to show you what they do to you when you have life, no parole. When you have life, no parole, I was the first person in America to ever get that, is that your inmate jacket is that your maximum security. So all those years in solitary at many different places, you have intake. So they take you and they actually, picture this, these are a set of bars, and they change you like that, so they get done with your intake. And the reason they chain you like that, because staff comes and they would take your intake, and they're trained not to get close to the bars. They don't know who you are. And I was sent to all the places where the men were beasts, basically. So they would chain you high like that because it's only human nature. You're taking an intake, and you might drift close to the bar, and violent things will occur. So anyway, this is my prop man. Anyway, that's enough of that. So that's how life was. But again, my story is take me as I am. So my first prison was maximum security in solitary. And my first night, I'm there. We didn't call it cannabis back then. I'm there for weed. And what do I smell through the vent? Weed. I'm in for life, and it's in the worst institution, the most locked down institution in America. Okay, now for 32 plus years, of the many institutions I've been at, not one didn't have cannabis. Not one. Okay, so now this is a medical forum. So let me tell you how I dealt with medical marijuana in prison. When you have these sentences of no hope, crazy as it sounds, I was young when I got mine, and I lived through it. But a lot of people were older when they got these death sentences, and they didn't make it. So you're getting old. You're in there for cannabis. You're getting old. You got ill. Okay, now prison does have a place they send you to die. It's some obscure hospice place, and this is how it goes. You're chained with your one ankle to the bed, one wrist to the bed. You have 2 guards in the room, and 8-hour shifts. And that's how you are until you pass on. So the older guys didn't want to pass away like that. Who would? And I had many friends that did. Incidentally, I lost count of how many prison eulogies that I gave in the prison chapel or in the prison yard. So, a few of my friends, they didn't want to go like that. They wanted to be in the cell and pass away with friends around them. So we devised a way. We had to have him with the right cellie. We devised a way so we would, and incidentally, anywhere in America at 4 o'clock, anywhere in America, state or fed system, you have to stand for 4 o'clock count. That is mandatory. So every day, about over 2 million people are standing at 4 o'clock. Every day at 4 o'clock, I close my eyes and I say a little prayer. Well, you know, don't get me wrong. Listen, number one, very important thing I'm going to tell you, better men than me have died in prison. Okay, and number two, some people belong there. Some people belong there. So getting back to the story, again, I'm a storyteller. My story is take me as I am. So we would devise a cellie that would look after the guy, would make sure that he at least sat up. They would lift him to sit up, because we would tell the guards that he's ill and he cannot stand. But he had to at least sit up, because if you didn't function, you would be taken out to go die somewhere in obscurity. So that was how I learned to administrate medical marijuana. I mean, they were ravished, they were ill, many, many serious diseases. So we would get some cannabis, and we would administer it through tea, we would administer it through inhaling it, and you know, almost bring tears in my eyes to see this person dying, this nonviolent drug offender, he's dying in jail. But, you know, a smile would come to his face from administering the cannabis. And to administer the cannabis, it was serious, because if we got caught, okay, we would get locked up and shipped, which is not good if you have loved ones in the area that visit, because visits are very, very important. So that is, and that went on not for years, it went on for decades. Went on for decades. And I left that medical ingenuity. I left that. And it actually circulated throughout the prisons. That you don't have to die like that. Someone could look after you, and you make arrangements. Like I said, my whole 32 plus years, I have never been to a county jail, city jail, state jail, federal jail, holding facility without cannabis being in the institution. So yous are like a miracle. Yous are like a living miracle to someone like me, who was supposed to never come home. Okay, and did I think about this type of movement, the advancement of the cannabis industry? Who thought about it? Who thought about it? But it evolved, and it's here today. And, you know, what to do? What to do? What to do is my philosophy, and I'm going to share that with you, is just communicate, speak. It doesn't have to be here. It doesn't be here. I do an awful lot of medical cannabis talk. New Year's Day. I'm from Philadelphia. New Year's Day is a big day in Philly. We have the Mummers Parade, very old traditional parade where the whole city basically comes out. And I could have been there. I could have been there enjoying myself all day. But no, you know where I was? I was at a mental facility in South Jersey with someone very dear to me, a women's facility in South Jersey. She was manic. She was manic, and she would not take the meds. She didn't like that type of meds. It was lithium or something like that. But she was a mother, and she wanted to be home with her children. So I went there, okay, and I had taught creative writing classes, and I gave her some edibles. Okay? She came off her manic stage. She had, what the word is, controls. Where's that Miss Michelle? Where's the doctor? She left? Yeah, you know what controls are, right? Well, she had her controls. Okay, that means she knew how to pattern things in her day from me giving her edibles. Now, was I right or wrong? Was I right or wrong? Take me as I am. She was not taking the meds, and, you know, you get worse. But the edibles, now she's home, she's raising her children. I continue to get her the edibles. I'm not going to say what state. And she's going on with her life. And that's what I've been doing when I'm not at these type of events. I look for those that are ill. I don't do too much with children because I believe that it's overstepping my bounds. Not that it's not good for children. But, you know, I went away 31 years old, and I got out 65. I'm 67. Even when I don't look it, I'm 67. So now I get out, and everyone basically had medical problems. And I'm from an area where there's no, it just got voted in, but it's all like this right now. Everybody don't know which way to do, which way to go, all discussions. So I try to get them into the cannabis medical, something, edibles, whatever, smoking, whatever, drinking, so they can have a life. And I've been having a lot of result with that. And you know the strongest message is in my Take Me As I Am life is word of mouth. Word of mouth. So now the word of mouth has got out in a pretty large area where I'm being sought after to not to give, not to minister, just to talk. Just to talk. So that's my message today. You know, everyone just, you know, the industry, I believe, will make it. I know there's an awful lot of fears. I did, it's so crazy is, when I did the 32 plus years, there was cannabis in the institutions, and I used to indulge a little, right? And I used to like to run. So when I used to indulge a little, I go to the prison yard, and I run around that yard till it closed, sometimes 2 hours. Okay, so now I'm free, and I can't indulge because I'm on probation. Isn't that crazy? So in prison, I would run, 10, 12 miles like it was nothing. Now I get up in the morning and I get 3 or 4. And I say, you know, I want to run longer, but I'm risking things. So what do? Go back to prison to smoke? So this is the crazy world we live in. And the only thing we can do, like I say, I've been in a lot of these things, and there's an awful lot of information, and the information can be confusing. It can be doubtful, especially people that want to invest. But, you know, I think it's important for each individual to stay the course, even if he doesn't get involved with the industry, if he does get involved with this, stay the course, because I believe it's a way of life. Look at me. Look at me. I started as a young guy, enjoying life, you know, teenager with a teenage girl, you know, going on the beach and smoking and enjoying it. Then it took away my life. It took away my life. And all the additives to that. You know, the additives that all the loved ones that got hurt along the way. All the loved ones that got hurt along the way. Okay, so now I'm out. Cannabis is still in my life. So it's been in my life for, what, 15, 16 years old. It's been in my life. So I made up the reality that I can't get away from it. Tom Quigley won't let me get away from it. He's got me booked all over the country speaking, which I enjoy. And anyway, that's my story. Take me as I am. And like I say, please, just be kind in the cannabis life. Be kind. Stay the course. And hopefully some good results will come. Thank you, George Martorano.